Happy holidays, everyone. Happy holidays, Josh.
Good to be here. And we got to address something that's big for our regular viewers. Now, if you're listening and not watching this, you got to head over to YouTube because, Andres, you look a little different this time.
I do. I gave a challenge to our Ignite college ministry that if they could get more than 40 people to register for our college retreat, I would bleach my hair.
Nice.
And the hair is bleached.
It is bleached, and because you had how many people on the college retreat?
So we had a total of 66 people on our college retreat, which is really awesome.
And I have to say, I told you this already. The hair looks good.
That's what everyone's saying.
It looks pretty good.
I might have to keep it post-Christmas.
Yeah,
we'll see.
So again, if you're listening, go to YouTube, check out the bleached blonde hair.
That's right.
Maybe next month or the next time we do the podcast, I'll bleach.
Oh, there we go. Well, Josh, we're heading into Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's coming up tomorrow, and I really like Thanksgiving. I like turkey. What I don't like is what Bruce supplied for us to eat today.
You don't like it at all,
which is pie.
No.
Wow.
But
we have pumpkin pie and apple pie.
Okay. Yes, we do. We got both.
Do you have a preference of pie?
I do like both.
Okay.
But my preference is typically apple.
Why apple?
It goes better with ice cream. Big ice cream guy. And
are you just a vanilla ice cream guy, or
with apple pie? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Trying it out here. All right.
Yep. I'm all right. I'm gonna leave that there.
Okay. I don't know. I'm having a hard time getting a bite of the apple. Here we go. All right.
If I could have apple pie crust and just apple pie crust, I'd be happy. I have texture issue, so I don't like the apples.
We're gonna have to ask Bruce because he picked this up at the grocery store on the way here. This is he wasn't home making this.
No.
So
Next time.
It's all right. It's all right.
Well, Josh, thinking about Thanksgiving, I know you and Maria, man, you guys host people really well. What does Thanksgiving look like at the Fay household?
Yeah, so one of the cool things for us for Thanksgiving is we have some really close friends who we met actually at Black Rock, and here they used to live here in Fairfield. They moved to New Hampshire over 15 years ago, and they come and stay with us almost every Thanksgiving. They have 4 kids, and so it's their 4 kids and the parents, my now 6 kids because my son's married, and us. So the 14 of us are there Wednesday through Sunday.
Okay.
And then on the actual Thanksgiving Day, we'll have a couple other families come over. My brother and his wife who live in New York City will come, and a couple other random people. So probably at least 25 people will be at my house eating. We then always go outside and do something, go for a walk, throw the football around, watch some football, and a lot of eating. And kind of hanging out.
Are there any like weird? So I'm Puerto Rican, and oftentimes like we have pernil, which is like a roast pork shoulder. Do you guys have anything unique at the Fay household that you guys eat?
I mean, I don't think it's pretty standard turkey. I make the turkey.
Okay.
I make the mashed potatoes. My wife will make sweet potatoes, corn casserole. Our friend who comes makes unbelievable rolls, like dinner rolls. They're phenomenal. Green beans, cranberries, some of that stuff. So,
pretty simple, pretty standard.
Pretty basic stuff. Probably missing something, but
that's all right.
Yeah.
Now, Josh, as much as I love Thanksgiving, all for Thanksgiving, I actually like Christmas a lot more.
See, I probably like Thanksgiving a little bit more, but I don't know. Thanksgiving seems more chill to me. I don't know why. But anyway, even though we have more people there, Christmas is usually just our family. But all right, you like Christmas.
My family has always been big on Christmas. Most people know this. I talk about it when we do announcements, but
how many trees?
Usually there's about 15 trees. So my parents are getting a little older. They're cutting back slowly. But they say that every year, and then I go over, and the count's usually still 15.
How about in your actual apartment?
In my apartment, 1.
Just 1, okay.
Just 1.
All right.
It did not carry over to me.
Okay.
I love it. I love Christmas, but I don't even. I spend Christmas with my parents, so I don't get to really like enjoy.
In my house, there's been a little debate about whether you put up the homemade ornaments on the tree. We only do 1 tree. We go cut down a real tree, and I like just silver and red ornaments, balls on it. My wife likes, hey, let's put up the homemade ones our kids made. So we've compromised, and now she puts this nice ribbon around the kind of the bay window in our living room with the homemade ornaments.
Oh, that's sweet.
It is.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What other traditions do you guys have? I know you guys have a lot of Christmas traditions. We've talked about them during services, but what are some traditions the Faye family has?
Yeah, we do. We developed a lot of them, and a lot of it was around making sure Christmas was not just about opening presents on Christmas Day. That's
Sure.
we do. We open presents. Although one of those things is we typically only give our kids about 3 gifts from us.
Yep.
They get gifts from their grandparents and things like that too. But we were like, Jesus got 3 gifts. You can get 3 gifts. So we break it down by a gift of want, a gift of need, and a gift of time.
Okay.
So one thing that you might need, we got them all bicycle helmets when they were little kids.
Sure.
We got them sleeping bags one year. Then one thing they would want, and then a gift of time is usually something we do as a family. It could be going out axe throwing. We did that
Sure.
once. It could be going out, go to a Broadway show or something like that, although
Yeah.
that's a little pricey.
Yeah.
So we do that. We do give gifts, but we do a lot of things. We give a gift out to our neighbors. We hand make some sort of gift. This started, we were living on actually where you live now.
Yep.
Where there's just a little street, and our neighbors were not very friendly, and so we actually made little birthday cakes, Jesus birthday cakes we call them, and took our kids and went door to door and said, hey, our kids made you a Jesus birthday cake. And our neighbors became much more friendly after that. And when I say neighbors, I mean the whole block. We made them. Cool. Now we make about 70 different things and hand them out to all of our neighbors. And it could be we made candles, we made soap, we made potpourri, we made fudge, we made caramel corn, we made cookies one year. Like all these, we make something handmade that we hand out. We volunteered different places. We often volunteer with the Urban Impact Store that the BlackRock does. We also we volunteer at BlackRock on Christmas Eve. One of those is we volunteer most of the day on Christmas Eve, and then we go see the lights, Wonderland on Roseville lights, right across where you live. Just a house with tons of lights that we get there, and they're there. We usually don't get there till like 10 or 11 o'clock on Christmas Eve. I mean, boy, I'm trying to think if there's probably other ones.
You and Maria talked about the books that you guys do for
That's
Advent.
right. That's right. So one year, Maria went to the library, checked out like 25 Christmas books. So we always do some sort of Advent thing.
Yep.
So and she wrapped up every single book as like a present. So each night in December, we'd open a new book and read it. We did that when the kids are younger, and we had an Advent kind of big giant sticker calendar that we put stickers on and read. The church, BlackRock, is doing a nice Advent thing this year where you read it and put it on a string. So we always try to do something during Advent, do something. If it's not every day, we'll catch up, later on in the week because life does get busy. And so if you miss a day, that's okay. You can make it up.
Yeah. That's awesome. Something my parents started about 3 years ago was they got another tree, and each family member gets an ornament that represents the year for us or something that was special that year. And I try to use it. My parents and my family don't follow Jesus, so I try to use it as a way to even share the gospel in some way, just because I think that's important. But it's cool because then every year we actually look at all the ornaments like, oh yeah, I remember that from 2 years ago or 3 years ago. But Josh, speaking about holidays, traditions, this time of year is often incredibly stressful. And I think often there's a lot of family chaos in the midst of traditions and family dinners, especially as I feel like the political environment has changed a lot and people might avoid family or there's tension at dinner. As Christians, how are we supposed to kind of interact with our family? How do we cut through maybe the chaos and the tension and bring healing instead of adding to the chaos?
Yeah. I think that's a great question. I know that there are some people that the holidays are really tough. They maybe don't have family to deal with. And the first thing to say is that's okay. It's okay if things are tough. It's okay if you kind of don't like some things about the holidays because they're hard for you. And the story of Christmas is not a story of ease and simplicity. It's a story that starts off with Mary and Joseph almost breaking up because Joseph thought Mary cheated on him, literally, right? He was going to break up with her. And then it goes from there to them going on this walk, that's all the way, basically kind of 3 or 4 days of walking while 8 months pregnant and then sleeping in a barn, giving birth in a barn.
Yeah.
And then a couple years later, like later having to go to Egypt because Herod was going to kill all the babies. So the real Christmas story in the Bible is not a story of ease and simplicity and everyone getting along. Yeah. And the point of that is Jesus came into this world because he knew that the world was messed up, that it was sinful, that there was division, that there was fighting, that there were dysfunctional families. And he was born into a dysfunctional family. And so if anybody knows what it's like to be in that situation, it's Jesus. Yeah. So the message of Jesus is not, oh, you need to make sure everything's perfect and all your decorations are perfect and all that. The message of Christmas is that Jesus came into a messy, messed up world, and he's with you in that. Yeah. And so I think that's the best thing to remember throughout that, because I do know that people get really stressed out. And even in my own family, we have all these traditions. And so it can be stressful to be like, we got to make 75 handmade gifts. We write a Christmas letter. That's another thing that we do. Yep. A pretty famous Christmas letter now.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. So, and so it's like there's stress to that. Like we got to get that done. So there can be this stress of I have to do all this stuff. But we really need to also just step back and go, hey, the real message of Christmas is God came into a messy world and he's there with us. Yeah. And that's the ultimate message.
Yeah. Josh, what would you say? And I know this is maybe a wrestling point for me, but also I know we have families who we have divorced families. We have, I'm turning 30 soon next year. I'm single. What do you say even to people who might, you look at the holiday season, you look at every Hallmark movie, and people can feel also just incredibly lonely. Because I think not just for the people who might not have family close, but the people who look at their lives and, hey, I don't get to see my kids on Christmas, or, I wish I was in a Hallmark relationship and I'm not. What would you say to those people?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think the first thing is the church is a family, right? The church is a family. And so hopefully, I hope that they are part of a church family that they can spend time with. If you're in a community group, I know people that get together. In fact, I mentioned the family that comes to our house, right? They now live in New Hampshire. Yep. We met them in a group here at BlackRock. Cool. And now 15 to 20 years later, we spend Thanksgiving together, and partly because neither one of us had family out here. When we moved to Connecticut, we didn't have any family out here. Our families live 12 hours away, and so we didn't have anybody to do holidays with, and so we invited other people over. And so the first thing I would say to people is the best thing is to get involved in your church family. Because hopefully you make some of those relationships and you can spend time with people. And so for you, again, you'll spend time with your family, but there's a lot of places you could go. Yeah. There's a lot of people you have a lot of connections. And so I encourage people to, throughout the year, make those connections. Get involved in groups. And just because you get involved in a group doesn't mean you're going to be best friends with everyone. Yeah. Like that's the way family relationships work. That's the way church relationships work. Yep. If you tried one group at church and you're like, I didn't really hit it off with anyone from that group. Well, try another group. Yeah. There's the good thing about BlackRock. We're a pretty large church. There's a lot of people. It'll take time, but you will find people that you connect with. Yeah. And so if you haven't found that, I used to tell people, when you move somewhere, plan on it taking almost up to 2 years before you really make some close friendships. Yeah. Because sometimes will you find it quicker than that? Sometimes you will. But there's plenty of times where if you move to a new location or if you've not been connected, so you've been sitting at home and not connecting, it takes time to build those relationships. So my encouragement to people is to build those over time, and then also to take initiative. Yeah. That sometimes we sit at home going, nobody's inviting me. And I'm like, and I understand that. But the other thing is, well, who are you inviting? Yeah. Maybe you invite them yours. That's why we invite people to our house. Again, we moved to Connecticut. We didn't have any family here. We started inviting people over. Yeah. And as a result of that, we've gotten to know people now that are family, even if not biologically, but because we've spent so much time with them. Yeah, and it's been really cool over the years. I know just from looking at pictures on Instagram or, you guys really, you're not just saying that. You've practiced it. I know church staff that don't have family around who have gotten to go over on Easter or, just because it's hard to go back home to their families. And you guys have provided space. And I like what you're saying about taking initiative.
I was thinking about one of our college guys, Eric Zaldombeatty. His family lives in Florida now, and he's been staying up here in Connecticut. And he had said, Andres, could I hold something at my house for any international students who maybe can't go home, or we have a couple of au pairs who live in the area, and he was like, I just want to create a space for them for Thanksgiving, so that they could have a Thanksgiving dinner. Another guy who's a part of Sanctuary just put on his Instagram story that if anyone wanted to come have a Thanksgiving dinner and didn't have anywhere to go, he was going to host something. That I think so often in the world we live in, we're always looking for someone else to be the solution, instead of saying, hey, how can I take some ownership? I might not be the best cook. I might not be.
Although Eric is. He's a trained chef. So maybe I'll go to his place.
That's right. You just stop over there. But I think sometimes we can sit in our loneliness and just say, well, I'm not getting invited anywhere. I wish someone would invite me. But instead, take ownership to say, hey, who are some people that I could invite? That's something even I've practiced over the years. My parents, as we've gotten older, have said, hey, you guys kind of do your own thing for New Year's Eve. My parents used to have us over for dinner, and they said, we're actually going to go out. So they go to Philadelphia every year. And for the first couple of years, that I was like, wait, what do I do? Who do I hang out with? And I just started a tradition of, hey, I'm going to invite some friends out. We go out to Korean barbecue. We have dinner together, and then we just hang out at my house, play games. And that was my way of saying, hey, how do I even make my own traditions with the people around me?
That's great.
So I love that. Now, Josh, we didn't talk a ton about this, but maybe heading into the Christmas season, what is kind of the goal of our Christmas season, maybe the sermon series we're talking about, just as we wrap up our time?
Yeah, well, the sermon series is called Emmanuel, God with Us. That's what we're doing starting the first week of December. And it actually is some of the things that I mentioned earlier about how Jesus' story and the Christmas story is not all about this kind of Hallmark picture that you described or a Hallmark movie. It really is God being with us during the struggles. And so some of the things we're going to talk about is some of the ways that the Christmas story is not that Hallmark movie and how we learn from that. And if we are struggling a little bit, that God's with us during that. If there's a time of uncertainty, there was a lot of uncertainty in the very first Christmas. And there also is a lot of joy. And so it's looking at the Christmas story and going, hey, the reality of it, not just the sanitized version of it, and how that impacts us today. And I would encourage people. I have some of my friends that I'm inviting in December. People are often a little more open to coming to church. They want some of that nostalgia, even if they don't fully believe it. And we do a phenomenal job, both visually, musically. The team does an amazing job musically of providing a phenomenal service. So I would encourage people during the Sundays and on Christmas Eve to really think about who they could invite to coming to church and to make sure they come themselves, to be able to be centered during this busy time, because there's a lot going on and there's a lot that we try to get done, but to be able to come and spend an hour with God is incredibly important.
Yeah, and I think one of my favorite things, especially once I became a Christian about 16 years ago, was even the beauty of Christmas songs and getting to sing Christmas songs. I always tell people the most exciting thing is to be in the mall, busiest time of the year, and hear Hark the Herald Angels Sing, or hear these songs that we sing in worship to Jesus. And that's what people are surrounded by all the time.
What's your favorite Christmas song?
Oh, man. Oh, that's a good question.
I know mine. You want me to go?
You go.
You time? By far. Bruce knows my favorite one. But God Rest You Merry Gentlemen.
Why is it your favorite?
So here's the line. So you're at the mall. The mall. God Rest You Merry Gentlemen comes on. Listen to the lyrics. God rest you merry gentlemen. Let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day. But here's the kicker. To save us all from Satan's power when we have gone astray. Yeah. So the fact that is that is just incredible truth. God rest you merry gentlemen. Let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we have gone astray. And if you know me, I love talking about how we're sinful, we do things that we shouldn't do. but God loves us anyway. And so to like, we're singing songs about God overcoming Satan, and it's playing at the mall. I mean, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting. I can't think of the name of it, but it is a song that Hillsong sings. It's on their Peace album. That's all I know. But it typically brings me to tears whenever I listen to it. I just can't think of the song. The other one would be Dominic the Donkey. You know? So it's a favorite of mine.
I didn't even know the Dominic the Donkey song until not that long ago. My wife was babysitting a family, and their kid loved that song, and it was playing all the time.
Hilarious.
My wife's favorite is Mary, Did You Know?
Okay.
Mary, did you know that your son would goes
do
on
all
like
these
that?
things.
And I think it's because it's kind of a bit from a mother's perspective, and,
Sure.
and she really it's a beautiful song.
Yeah.
So those are the two. We always sing them at some point. I always push them. I'm like, hey Becky, can we sing "God Rest You Merry Gentlemen" like every week?
Yeah.
She won't do it.
She won't do it.
No,
Sad. Maybe next year. Josh.
Yeah,
maybe
next year. The whole theme. The whole theme next year. God rest you, merry gentlemen.
That's it. I mean, you're the senior pastor now, so you gotta move around some power. But well, Josh, I'm super excited for this Christmas season. Excited for Thanksgiving, and just want to let everyone know. We are going to take the month of December off. So if you don't see a podcast from us, you could just take a screenshot of Josh and I talking and look at it. But we're not going to do a podcast this December just because of everything that we have going on. But we do pray that you have an amazing holiday season. Have a wonderful Christmas and a happy New Year. And we will see you next year.